Boxing truth here. Not done talking about this chump. Not done talking about Lil G, as he's about to get another payday for taking the least amount of risk possible while waiting for this payday. Just don't got much respect for Triple G, man. Taking the safest route possible, taking the least amount of risk possible, while Canelo has already evolved, taking the toughest challenges that he could take, and Golovkin just sitting back, waiting, picking and choosing, and barely taking a risky fight in the process while waiting for this payday against Canelo Alvarez. There are 10 middleweights right now that would beat Gennady Golovkin. I really hope that no-name IBF mandatory, if it goes planned, beats Golovkin, so I don't have to see a fight that I already know who's going to win. It's an almost certainty who is going to win. That's why I don't really need to see it. I don't need to see Canelo beat the shit out of Triple G. I already saw it already. And it's going to be even worse fashion. What's the point? Obviously, the parties involved have an interest. They're going to make a lot of money. The zone's going to make a lot of money. Well, at least recoup some of the money that they've already shelled out for boxing. So business-wise, the fight makes sense for all the parties involved. But from the fans' perspective, there is no need for a third fight because we already know who is going to win. The Golovkin fanboys, even they're going to admit this. They know Triple G at this stage ain't going to beat Canelo. At this stage, he can't touch Canelo. But since we're talking about this, let's talk about fighters who would actually beat Golovkin right now. There are 10 middleweights or super middleweights and super middleweights that would beat Triple G right now. Let's start with the super middleweight division. Who beats the shit out of Triple G? There Benavidez would stop Triple G. There's been some rumors in sparring. Benavidez beat the shit out of Triple G in sparring. It will be a shellacking and a retirement if Golovkin was to step in the ring against David Benavidez. Callum Smith would beat Triple G. Too big, too rangy, has a boxer out, keeps you on at a distance type style. Golovkin was too slow, too old, and just doesn't have the firepower to really put a dent at Callum Smith at this stage. Canelo already beat him twice, once officially. Most likely will get a knockout victory if and when a third fight happens. Caleb Plant, too young, too fresh, too fast, too quick, too good of a boxer for Triple G at this stage. Triple G will lose a points decision to Caleb Plant. Billy Joe Saunders. The fight has been agreed to in the past, but that was before Saunders had that performance against David Lemieux. He's a hot and cold fighter. It really depends what type of version Saunders shows up. But if he was to ever get an opportunity against Triple G, my money will be on Billy Joe Saunders to pull off a minor upset. Probably wouldn't even be an upset. The line will probably be a 50-50 down the middle. It will probably be a dead even money fight. But I will put all my money on Saunders to get a decision against an aging Golovkin. Who else in the super middleweight division who beat the shit out of Triple G? Jurgen Brammer might box circles from not Triple G, an old-ass Jurgen Brammer. He could, if that fight was to occur. Now let's go down to the middleweight division. Jamal Charlo would beat Triple G at this stage. Too young, too fresh, punches too hard. It's a favorable style for Golovkin because Charlo comes to fight, but I don't think he can hold off a young lion like Jamal Charlo at this stage. He was getting hurt by Daryevchenko, who's not the biggest puncher in the world. What do you think Jamal Charlo is going to do to him? Charlo might even knock out Triple G if they was to fight. But hey, we already know Golovkin has to be careful with the matchmaking. He's already been careful as a result since the second Canelo fight where he took an ass whooping. That's why he fought Steve Rolls. That's why he chose to fight Daryevchenko, because he didn't feel Daryevchenko had enough power to really put a dent in him. and he was wrong, but he still won the fight, barely. Now, he's on the verge of taking another fight where he's fighting a no-name middleweight who doesn't have much punch power. Just safe matchmaking that's continuing from Golovkin. Murata will be an interesting fight. Murata has the power, a good right hand, the size to make it an interesting fight. Wouldn't count Murata out at all against Triple G, but he won't get that opportunity. Demetrius Andrade has a type of style that can make Triple G not look great, which is why the fight hasn't happened, or he is even considered fighting Andrade. I would put money on Andrade to defeat Golovkin at this stage. Jaime Munguia would knock out Triple G. I was hoping for that fight to happen. That was in the plans. Golden Boy wanted to make it. But with Canelo possibly getting the third fight because of business reasons, that fight's probably never going to occur. But Munguia will beat Gennady Golovkin at this stage. Too young, too fresh, too strong for an aging Triple G to hold down a young lion like Jaime Munguia. Liam Williams would have a great chance of beating Golovkin. Too young, too hungry, too fresh for an aging Golovkin to hold off a younger, hungrier fighter like Liam Williams. I will give him a great chance of beating Golovkin. So how many fighters that I've named? Chris Eubank Jr. will have a chance, but the jab of Golovkin will give him problems. But he will still have a chance against beating Golovkin. Who else on this list? I pretty much named almost 10 middleweights that would beat Gennady Golovkin. 10 fights that are more of a challenge for Canelo in the future. But since Golovkin's on his way out, Canelo's going to get the chance to pretty much put an end to this chapter and prove once and for all that he's always was and always will be the better fighter. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.